This is my fourth video on abortion in their own words. Now, these are three politicians. And this is their quotes. I'm not going to tell you who they are, but this is a little trivia portion. If you could leave in comments who you think these people are. And there's no prize, but just bragging rights. Who is the first person to mention this, and I'll mention you in a later video. Number one, I am opposed to abortion and to government funding of abortion. We should not spend state funds on abortion because so many people believe abortion is wrong. Number two, during my 11 years in Congress, I have consistently opposed federal funding for abortions. In my opinion, it is wrong to spend federal funds for what is arguably taking of a human life. Let me assure you that I share your belief that innocent human life must be protected, and I am committed to furthering that goal. Number three, what happens to the mind of a person and the moral fabric of a nation that accepts the aborting of the life of a baby without a pang of conscience? What kind of person and what kind of a society will we have 20 years hence if life can be taken so casually? It is that question, the question of our attitude, our value system, and our mindset with regard to the nature and worth of life itself that is the central question confronting mankind. Failure to answer that question affirmatively may leave us with a hell right here on earth. And that pastor turned politician turned, I'm going to give you a hint, presidential candidate, was right. It was very, very prophetic, very, very true. And who was that? Who were those three people? One more. The fourth. This was, I will give you a hint, this was a line of the Senate who became very pro-abortion. While the deep concern of a woman bearing an unwanted child merits consideration and sympathy, it is my personal feeling that the legalization of abortion on demand is not in accordance with the value with our civilization places on human life. Wanted or unwanted, I believe that human life, even at its earliest stages, has certain rights which must be recognized. The right to be born, the right to love, and the right to grow old. And, so post on the comments who you think number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4 were. And I will mention you in a later show. These are two quotes from a very three quotes from a very, very very right-wing pro-life group. Taxes are like abortion, and not just because both are grotesque procedures supported by Democrats. You're for them or against them. Taxes go up or down, government raises taxes or lower them, but Democrats will not let the words abortion tax hikes pass their lips. Democrats will not let the words abortion. And maybe if we had more taxes going to those more disenfranchised, they would be able to take care of their children and more children, and they wouldn't have to go to abortion. Maybe if we didn't have corporate welfare for the rich and had more welfare for the poor, and I'm not talking about handouts here. I believe welfare that's just a check does nothing. The welfare that's just a check does nothing. I'm talking about welfare that actually helps provide jobs, training, and actually like food, medical care, things that actually help the family. Parenting classes, things like that. But Ann Coulter, you're not pro-life, you're just anti-abortion. Another one. Liberals' only remaining big issue is abortion because of their beloved sexual revolution. That's their cause. Spreading anarchy and Palamors's perversity. Abortion permits that. And Coulter. Yes. And I believe abortion, pornography. I mean, the huge sexualization of our society is to sex. What your fiscal policies, your Ayn Rand, Milton Friedman economic policies, are to stewardship and to economy. So, Ann Coulter, the more you talk about the abortion fight, the more the far-right talk about this when they're not addressing poverty, when they're not addressing social justice and other concerns, you're a hypocrite, and atheists and the pro-abortion crowd will mention you, will show you, and they will win the argument. I mean, I'm pro-life. I am pro-life. I am against abortion on demand. I believe that abortion should be as few as possible and only in the rarest cases. I am not for euthanasia, although that is very, very difficult. I mean, I understand the pain, but I believe we should do whatever we can do to eliminate the pain as much as possible. And I mean, if a person decides to take their own life, that's between them, their family, and God. I don't believe a doctor should facilitate that. But if a person does it on his own, or if a family member does it on their own, that's slightly different. I believe in just war. I believe that war should be the last resort. Sometimes war is necessary, but it shouldn't be the first thing you do. You shouldn't rush into war gung-ho, jingoistically, like we did on Iraq. I believe that the death penalty has to be re-evaluated because the death penalty is not fair. There are more poor, African Americans, minorities, Hispanics are more likely to be put to the death penalty than someone who is wealthy and white who might have committed a similar crime. There are DNA evidence that are letting people go. People say, well, the death penalty has never, there's never been an innocent person proved to be killed. You know why? Because once they're executed, you don't go over the DNA. You don't go, you don't. So that's why. So that is a spurious reason. I'm pro-life. I'm pro-life in almost every way. I mean, I'm trying to think of ways that I might be. I mean, like I said, the rare exceptions for abortion, I guess. But I really dislike the people who are anti-abortion but not pro-life. And the sad thing is, a lot of them are in the Republican Party. A lot of them are in the Tea Party. A lot of them are in this selfish form of economic American for prosperity, where it's like, we want ours, but really I don't care about the others. And that upsets me, and that's nothing but hypocrisy. And this I really dislike. When I or people like me are running the country, you'd better flee because we will find you, we will try you, and we'll execute you. I mean, every word of it. I will make it part of my mission to see to you that you are tried and executed. That doesn't help the debates. That inflames. And that leads to violence. Like the murder of George Tiller. Also, I find it very, very interesting that Randall Terry spoke this, addressing doctors who perform abortions in a speech to the U.S. Taxpayers Alliance. And the U.S. Taxpayers Alliance is a right-wing, conservative group that wants to lower taxes as much as possible, and particularly on the wealthy. And I believe, and they support this no government regulation thing that I say. So, I mean, it's a kind of a little hypocrisy there. And I mean, I feel sorry for abortionists. I feel sorry for those women who feel they have no other choice, because there is another choice. I feel sorry, and I want them to know that they don't have to terminate their babies. I mean, there has to be another way. There has to be a way to lower it, to basically have life have more meaning, have life have more value. Anyway, I have to go to Bible study. So those, if you're watching these before I come back, my fifth post will be posted when I get back. God bless.